Good morning and welcome to Spiritual Vacancy. We are here to help fill your spiritual void. I am Brooke Ann. I'm a psychic medium and a Reiki practitioner, and I am with my lovely partner in crime.
Hey, I'm Mona Lee. I'm the owner of Beautiful Mind and work with mind, body, and spirit, energy healing, hypnosis. And I am just so excited about the guest that we have today because she's not only one of my favorite earth angels on this earth plane, but I know she also is one of Brooke's favorite as well. And when we talked about Cyndi and what she does, we were both so excited to get this discussion going about what Miss Cyndi does. So yeah, let's go into it. This is something about Death Doula. I know we have all heard about a birth doula, a person who brings people into this world. But how many people have really heard about what a death doula is and what is that? So I'd love to uncover those questions, Miss Cyndi, if you will.
Absolutely. To begin with, I usually just use the phrase "end of life doula" because it just puts I can do this at any stage of life. Normally, what it is just a non-clinical person that lends support, whether it's spiritual or emotional, practical. And one of the things that I do is respite care for the families. It usually does happen at the end of life stages for a person, but it can start anytime. I can do like legacy projects with them, advanced directives, any of that stuff. But normally it is like when the person is passing, I would come in, find out what the person's needs are, what their wishes are, and see they're upheld, because there's so much chaos at the time of passing that sometimes that's just overlooked. So I would do those things, and like I said, respite care and stuff. And then when it gets time for them to transition, I would be there as long as the family needed me to be there. And after passing, I would still contact the family, be in contact with them, offer whatever help I can give them. And Brooke, that's where your mentorship has been just invaluable, because now I have such a better understanding of loved ones that have passed. And I'm sure that's going to help with this position as well.
Yeah. So what made you um what made you want to be, there at the end of life? Or what was it in your spiritual journey that brought you to where you are today?
It was a total surprise to me. Never did I think I was going to do this. But I've always been spiritual. And then as a cancer survivor, our group has had the opportunity to walk home some of its members. And during that time, I just felt God tugging at my heart. And I heard the word doula, and also the necessary care that some people aren't getting. And I was at Mona's for a session, and she heard the word doula from her angels and said to me, "Do you know what this is?" She said, "I'm not sure what it is." And I'm like, okay. And there's the confirmation. And so I just went back to school and got certified, and hopefully we'll be able to help others with this.
Do you feel like that there's some people that don't have family that you get called to because they're like all their other family has passed on and you're going to be the one that sits with them? Or do you feel like it's more families that call in your help, or is it a mix of
Well,
people?
a lot of it now is through the hospice house. But and they're also doing this 11th hour program where during the transition time, they want full coverage of somebody being there with them. But a lot of people, if they're older, their family can't get to them. If they're in hospice or other places, they're not available. If I can tell you about just one of my personal friends that was sick, and his family is in Pennsylvania, so I was able to step in until they were able to get here. And as he was transitioning, he was actually talking to his loved ones on the other side, like we've heard people say. But what happened next was just phenomenal. His voice changed, the inflection in his voice changed, his tone changed, and he was getting answers from his loved ones. I think it was for my benefit as well, but he
Mm.
was so peaceful. His transition was beautiful. He was ready. The passing was just, for me, it was such a blessing to see and to feel that we were holding hands, and to feel the presence was amazing. So I knew this was definitely going to be my spiritual journey.
That is so exciting. That is so
Oh,
exciting. And isn't it amazing when
so
certain things
teary,
I know I've got the
emotional.
angel bump. I've got the
Yeah.
angel bump while you're sharing this story. It's incredible. And I was remembering having a conversation with you while that was happening, and I was away on a trip, and I was feeling so much when you were sharing that with me of the light that you saw around him, and that the presence of God, the presence of the angels, the presence of his spirit guides that were welcoming him to go back home. And what a blessing it is that you're able to witness that, to feel that, to be part of that, oh my goodness. And I do feel that that really opened up something big for you to continue this journey. And I do have one of those questions for you too that is just burning inside of me. And a question that Brooke and I both like to ask our fellow healers is, when you began this journey, Cyndi, because anything new and different that we end up doing affects us in some way, affects our family in some way, or sometimes coming out of that spiritual closet, so to say, into something new is just, it's going to be changing things and people around you. So how did this affect you? How did it affect your family, your friends when you stepped into this work?
Well, fortunately, they were very supportive and encouraging, as you were like one of the top supporters for me. It was just an easy transition for me because I knew it was my calling, and even though I tried not to pay attention sometimes, I was God was like, no, this is what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So I think the transition into it was easy. A lot of people still don't know what a doula does, so they have questions, or they just pass it off because they're not really sure what to ask.
Mm. What would people ask? What should we call it, as far as, like you had mentioned, it's not necessarily about death, but it's
That's
also about a different, can you explain that? Because enlighten us if you will.
Sure, absolutely. Well, like I said, you can start anytime. You don't even have to be sick. You could just want to get your affairs in order. Sometimes it's easier to talk to someone that's not a family member, especially about your passing. And I could just sit and talk with them again, find out what their beliefs are, what they want, and then be like the intercessor between them and the family and or hospice. But it can start at any time. It's like an insurance policy, if you know you have it, and then, years later or whatever, if you get sick, then please give me a call and we'll start that process of, being there with you and walking home with you.
Yeah, and like Mona said, you're a little angel on earth because you are helping people. You describing that story. I mean, you're helping people in a scary moment not be scared. And you're giving
Yeah.
them that peace and that serenity. And I could just hear your voice and your tone talking to them as they start transitioning, and how beautiful that is, and how lucky they are to have you by their side, to tell them it's okay and to ease into that transition. So, I mean, you are a little angel for sure. It really, I mean, it takes a special person to be able to help somebody move on.
Oh,
And
thank you for that. But it's all God doing this. One of the gentlemen that I was able to visit with at the hospice house has Alzheimer's, and he's frightened for many reasons. But the time I was able to spend with him, it's just so rewarding for me because I just hold his hand and we have the same conversation over and over. But it's okay. He's he's not as frightened when I leave and stuff. And it's just, like I said, it's seriously, it's all God driven.
Mm,
Beautiful.
that's incredible. That is so incredible that just it gives that just people that hope, right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
love, that hope, the safety, the security that they are in good hands and God's hands. And what a peaceful way to make that transition from this earthly plane to the astral plane, if you will.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
yes,
Thank you. Yeah, it's been so rewarding for me.
good, good.
So,
Now, did you have another question, Mona?
Oh, another question I do. So, and this it relates to what we were just talking about. That is such a blessing of being able to be with a person at that time of transition. But what are you most excited about? What are you most excited about when you are doing your work or when you're meeting somebody new that you know is going through this transition state to even cross over at that delicate state? What would you say really is the most driving force for you in doing what you're doing?
I think it is. I keep going back to my friend, and when I saw the peace that he was experiencing at transition, it is frightening. It's a scary situation a lot of times, but um, to see his loved ones come to get him, but to share that with me, I mean, it just does continually. I want everybody to be able to pass that way, where they're passing filled with love. Just whether I'm loving on them, their family members are loving on them, or their past loved ones, or just let them all go in peace and love.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was having a discussion with my mom not long ago about universal truths, and that Brooke-Ann and I had actually interviewed her, and that'll be an upcoming episode. But as far as she had mentioned the time of passing too, it's so important to be in that state of peace during a time of passing, because there might be people on the earth where they're driving on the highway and all of a sudden they get into an accident, or they might be in a fight and they're at a very abrasive moment at that passing, and wherever their spirit is, wherever their mind is, wherever they are, it's like an energy that takes them wherever they're going next,
Right.
that next plane or that next realm, if you will, which I know we don't know all the answers and we have no idea, but what a great feeling to know that somebody can pass in such a peaceful, beautiful state versus
Right.
the opposite.
Right. Yes, I agree. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to say, even when people pass quickly or unexpectedly in an accident or anything, their loved ones are there. They actually don't feel the pain when we think of our loved ones passing and they were in a motorcycle accident or a car accident or something bad happened. I have only experienced where their soul has already left the body before impact, as if their loved ones are already snatching them to make them not feel any pain. So if anybody listening, that gives them peace knowing that their loved ones didn't feel the impact or didn't feel that, because I've never experienced that reading souls. So that is something too, but it is different when someone is there and gets to guide them into the transition, but just to not put fear into, if they were in an impact, that it's not as peaceful, because it is. It's just a different kind of peaceful.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. It's nice to be able to witness that they didn't hurt, that they weren't in pain. And then I've literally seen their soul leave their body before the impact.
Wow.
So it's
That's
kind of,
beautiful.
yeah.
Very good.
So if you could give one piece of advice, Cyndi, to anybody on their spiritual journey, or wanting to get into what you do, or interested in what you're doing, or anything that you can say, what would it be?
To absolutely just follow their hearts. If they don't know where they're going, just look for the confirmation. Just open themselves up and just hear. I mean, there's signs and people that are put in their lives, like the two of you were put in mine. Just look around. You'll see it, and once that happens, I mean, the reward to you personally is just phenomenal. So just go with it.
That's
That's
beautiful.
incredible. That is so beautiful. And you truly are living your Dharma. You're truly living your Dharma right now. And I know we go through different stages and phases and times of our lives and different things and different moments that happen and different growth and different evolution. And you have definitely evolved to just growing into, wow, what a blessing. You earth angel, you earth angel.
We're not wrong, Mona. She is an earth angel.
Yeah.
Right by
You
saying
guys are
that.
so sweet. Thank you. So sweet.
Yes, yes.
Well,
So where can we find you if people wanted to reach out to you, Cyndi? How do we tell people all about you? How do they find you?
Well, they can email me. I have starting a business called Peaceful Transition. So my email is peacefultransitionsc@gmail.com, or they can contact one of you and you can put me in touch with them. And eventually I'll have a Facebook page and stuff where they can come and see, just get different information on what I can do and how to help them.
That's exciting. We'll definitely share your information. I promise. Anybody that reaches out, we are sending them your way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
So-
so much for being on. I think I could talk to you forever, Cyndi. I mean, it's like fascinating. But we thank you for being on today, and we appreciate you, and we appreciate what you do. And I know we both love you. So
I love you guys. I'm honored that you asked. Thank you so much.
thank
Oh.
you. And y'all go check her out. Go check out her email, or if you need her services. Please do not be afraid. And as soon as she gets her Facebook up, we will share her Facebook as well. So we
Perfect.
thank y'all for listening in, and we hope y'all have a beautiful day. And namaste.